Hello everybody, I'm absolutely flabbergasted as to the number of new subscribers that I have. To all those of you that have joined my channel, I want to say a big thank you for subscribing to me. Really grateful for you taking the time to have a look. Very grateful. And also I want to say a real big shout out thank you to Doug for posting a video to encourage people to view my channel. Really big thank you, Doug. Cheers, mate. Really big thank you. I don't know what to say. I am flabbergasted as to what to say next, really. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Really much appreciated. Alright, take care. Please enjoy the rest of the video. I'll go into a little bit more detail on making cables. For those of you that might be a little bit inexperienced at doing this sort of thing, most of us have made many cables. You know, don't need to see this video really, but if you're starting out and you want to look at the best ways to go about it, you know, you'll see that in this upcoming video, and hopefully some tips and that to help you to make good joints. Now there's one thing I want to say. I changed over to me 25 watt iron because I wanted a faster recovery rate, but we still struggled, and the reason why we struggled is we needed a bigger bit to hold more heat so that we could do our job without actually the joint going cold on us, which is what happened during the making of this video. So the right idea, putting the bigger wattage iron on, but we need to sort out something about this bit. I was getting better results with the 18 watt iron that had the bigger bit because there was a bigger reservoir, as it were, in the sides of the bit to hold on to more heat that we can use on our job of making these leads. Okay. One more thing, in case you guys are wondering, those of you that just joined my channel, why am I using separate soldering irons and messing on with changing separate bits? Why not have a solder station where you can change a thermostat on there to increase the temperature as and when, or whatever it is that you're trying to do? Well, the reason why I don't go down that road, why I like to use a separate soldering iron, is because if something goes wrong, you've always got a soldering iron to fall back on. Where if your solder station goes wrong, you're pretty well, you know, had it. So I like to have plenty of soldering irons around. I will be buying some more actually as time goes on, as I recover from all the things I bought, because these elements do go. It's cheaper just to buy another iron really, and the bits are quite expensive. I've got a collection of them if I could find them. Anyway, that's enough waffling on. Hope you enjoy the video. I'll see you when I see you. Okay, bye. Right, we've cut all our wires and it works out that it'll make 3 leads of each colour. Unfortunately, this is all I could afford at the time, so we'll have to do with an odd number. So I've cut all the wires. I'm now tinning them, taking the sleevings off at the ends, just stripping them off, and tinning them, ready to do the banana plugs. So we do all of them first, because we don't want to file away our banana plugs and then leave them sitting for too long, because they'll be oxidizing. Not that it'll make much difference, but you know, makes me feel happier that way. So that's what I'm doing at the moment. I'm just going to start stripping these wires off and soldering the ends and getting them ready to solder onto our banana plugs. Right, so what we're doing now, we've stripped all the ends off and we're getting our wires. We are twisting the ends. Hang on a minute, sorry about that. We're twisting the ends and soaking them in alcohol and putting them on the other leg. So we've got them ones on there are done, these ones on there I've got to do. and then we'll tin them all. Good fun really, isn't it? So now we're starting to tin our wires. So do not actually put the end of the new wire straight into the end of the flux, because it will spray out the strands of wire. So what I've done is I've got a pencil, I've got a little bit of flux on the end. I can always clean that off, it's not a problem. And all I'm doing is I'm just coating the wire in flux, just a little bit on each end, and then tinning it. Now for this I've gone over to my 25 watt iron, because I want a faster recovery rate for the iron, so that I could just mass produce, go through all of this, do all of these, and not have to worry about the iron being cold, okay, or too cold for the solder. It's red hot, which is what you want. Right, onwards and upwards. Also, just wanted to point out, I have noticed that if you put the wire with the sleeving and everything through the very inner part of the crocodile clip, you don't have a risk of actually the teeth biting into the cable. Can you see that? I found that makes quite a bit of difference, because we don't want holes in our cables, or even dents, do we? We want them nice and smooth. We want them new. They're new cables, so we want them to stay new until we've had them for a while. So I just wanted to show you that. Okay, carry on. So I thought I would show you me doing some. So it is a very quick, just checking the ends to make sure that there's no strays coming out, no strands. Bit of flux, clean our iron. Always clean your iron, it's very important. So for all you guys who are not very good at soldering, make up your own leads. It's great practice. Great practice for you. You can turn around and say, I have made those leads. But they're not cheap. By the time you've bought your wire, I mean the crocodile ends, I bought 6 packets, and I think, if I remember rightly, that came to about nearly 50 quid. And then you had to buy banana plugs on top of that, and then the wire. So these that you're making yourself are definitely not cheap. You're not saving yourself any money, that's definite. But you've got the satisfaction of making your own leads, and the fact that you've made them the way that you want, not the way some manufacturer thinks you ought to have. I always take a bit off the end. Zoom out a bit, maybe you can see a bit more. I need a close-up camera. Any of you guys know a decent one that I can get? A close-up camera that I can use that doesn't cost me an arm and a leg? too much on there. I haven't got a computer in here. I mean, ideally you'd have a computer so you could use one of those PC cams. I don't have anything like that. I suppose I could take my PC apart and make it into a workshop PC. I don't know. I haven't really thought about it, to be honest. But you can see this is great practice for those guys who want to get practice at your soldering. This is very good for you guys. Okay, sometimes I'll dip the end of the soldering iron in the flux, helps clean it. Right, we've only got a few more to go now. Always check the ends. Check to see whether the strands are all together okay. I'm not caring about how much flux goes on. Sometimes it's too much, sometimes it's not enough. But if you had a soldering iron that was too small, you would have to keep waiting for the iron to recover from the use that you've had. Right, we've got one more. This basically is going to make us 3 of each colour. It's an odd number, I know, but that's all I could afford at the time. I don't know what's wrong with the weather today. It is very humid. I reckon we're in for a storm. Always clean your iron every time. Very important. There we are. That's done. So now we've separated all of our plugs from our crocodile ends, which just clip in, as you know. So now what we're going to do is separate all the plastic from the banana pins themselves, so we can start to work on them and get them all soldered up. That's the next job. Now we got our coloured banana plastic bits separated from our actual banana pins. So what we need now is get the vise out and we'll start filing and get all these filed down. We'll probably do them in, like, I don't know, 6 at a time, solder 6 up at a time and go like that. Okay, let's do that next. So I'm just doing it. I actually decided to do more than 10, I think. It's going very well. I've turned my iron off, by the way, so that we don't oxidise the bit too much. Don't need to have our iron on at the moment. It will soon warm up when we need it. So we just go through these all one at a time and just file them all. What we're doing is we're removing the chrome and the nickel that they've used to plate these in and getting down to the actual brass. So we end up actually getting a nice lovely connection with the wire that's going to be soldered onto this. But I will remind you, you must keep an eye on these cables because they will fray eventually. Nothing you can do about it. I have thought about maybe dribbling a bit of hot glue down the end of the banana plug to stop the wire from flexing. Well, if you do that, you're going to have to buy a new banana plug each time, and they're expensive, so I decided not. Right, I'm going to file the rest of these. I don't need to show you doing all of those. You've got the general idea. We're just going to go through them all. I changed my mind about doing 10. I'm just going to do them all. And there on the end of the bench we have our filed banana plug ends. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get a little pot and I'm going to put some rubbing alcohol in it and I'm going to drop all my pins in it. Right, there's all our pins, all in the alcohol, no grease whatsoever. So we're going to get ready to solder these. So to make sure we don't cause ourselves any problems because we've been using a file, our hands will be greasy. You know, so next job is to go and wash our hands so that we don't transfer any grease onto our work and make problems for ourselves. So that's what I'm going to do now. Right, we've turned our iron back on, so it's warming up. So we are going to do a mass production now of actually soldering up our ends. And just 2 seconds, I need to do something. You don't need to hear this. That's better. I'll give you 2 guesses what I just did. Right, okay. So we've got our thing here. It doesn't matter what colour wire we're doing. It doesn't matter. Just grab any wire we want. We just do them first come first serve. Now the first couple are going to be tricky to get used to, but by the time we've done a few, it will become easy. That's why I think it's best to do a whole load together. So it's just a matter of getting our wire bent round the way we want. Set it up in our jig, which is what this is. When you're happy with it, you add your flux. I'm going to leave the bit of wire sticking out the end. Can you see that? There's a bit of wire sticking out this end. I'm going to leave that. Now, the important part here is to get the job hot enough and then cool it down. So we put a brush in our alcohol ready, put that ready to hand so we can just grab hold of that, because I don't want to melt the sleeving on this wire. In fact, I don't want to melt the sleeving on any of the wires, because we're going to get through a load of solder here. So once we're happy with where the wires lie and everything, just whack some heat in there. The important thing here is we want to get the job hot enough to take the solder. We do not want it to move while the solder is wet. go. That's our first one done. Make sure you can see what we're doing and just nip this off. And then I'm just going to grab hold of the sleeving and hope that it will go straight on. It should go straight on. That's it. Yeah. Oh, you need to hold it. Grab another end. Once you've done a few of these, you'll get used to doing it, and it will get easier and easier. That's why it's best to mass produce. Go. And then you'll get better at it. Put some flux in there. Yep. Now this is where it's important to have a hot iron, because you want a fast recovery rate for the iron. And when the metal gets hot enough, it will flow. Now I'm having trouble here because my soldering iron is going cold. There we are. Hear that sizzling? There we go. Now, not all of them are going to go right. Some of them are going to be awkward. That's hot. Not surprised it just had an iron slapped on it. Yeah, there's a bit sticking up there, so we'll just file that down. That's it. And that's all there is to it. There we go. That was done in real time. So we're going to go through all of these and do these. Just thought I'd show you a bit more again. Still doing this. Takes a while, but we're getting there. It's a great way to use up your little bits of solder. Right, this is what you have to watch for. Do you see that joint there? Does it look okay to you? Does it? Would you pass that as a good joint? Well, folks, that is what a dry joint looks like. The solder just hasn't quite taken there, and you can see it's very, very dull looking. So when I've applied enough heat to it and got it hot again and got the joint the way I like it, I'll show you then, and you can compare the difference. But this is what you've got to watch on all your leads. Don't get complacent. You've got to check every single one you do as you do it. I don't know if the camera's picked that up or not, but that has made a better joint, much better. So just compare the two. I can't see if there's going to be any difference because I'm looking on the camera's little screen and I can't see it here, but looking at it with my eyes it does look a lot better. I've added more flux and more solder and heated the joint even longer, and then I cooled it down. Every now and again you'll get one that'll go wonky or wobbly on you or whatever. Murphy's struck, as they say. Every now and again it happens. Right, it's time to stop and have a rest. We do not have to do every single one of these tonight. Don't try and do them all in one go either. It's best to do so many at a time because you get tired, make mistakes, and then you make a bad job of it. So what I've done here is I've got my new leads alongside the cheap Chinese, whatever it is, wherever they come from, leads. You see the difference? You know. Now these cheaper leads, they're absolutely ideal for your battery powered stuff. Not a problem at all. And you can use them on some of the mains power stuff. Depending on what it is, you could use them as an aerial. Just join a load of them together to make an aerial one. That would be fine. But if you're actually connecting up anything with power going through it, I would be much happier using these, you know. And that's the crocodile lens as a close-up. See, compared to this type, you know, there's a big difference. One thing I will say with these heavier duty ones is the springs on them are a lot stronger. So the other thing about that you're going to have to watch is that you don't crush anything. Don't know what I could possibly crush, but there's bound to be something. Out of shot again. Alright. As I say, I'm going to stop right here. I've been on this for an hour and a half maybe, I don't know. I've been on them long enough. And these are the wires all ready to go. The ends have been tinned, the right length, and I had the right number for these leads. Right, I'm going to edit this lot and see you next time. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and any comments, good or bad, I'd like to hear them. So tell me what you think. But I will warn you, if you decide to do this, these are not cheap. It's cost me quite a lot. 6 packets of ends cost me nearly 50 quid. Then you've got the wire, and then you've got the banana plugs. You go online and have a look. If you want to know where we got these clips from, these heavier duty ones, I got them on Amazon. There's a website on there, and I just put in crocodiles or something, and did a search. They're the only ones I've been able to find like this. And if you get decent quality results, in my opinion, it's certainly worth the extra cost. Yeah, okie dokie. I'm going to edit this lot up now and go from there. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.